what are the next things that are going to be attacked? Because this MAGA crowd is really the most extreme political organization that's existed in American history.
They already hate us, so let's make them matter. Ooh, they say we extreme, yeah, I hear the chatter. I pick Christ first and the rest don't matter. 2 a.m. we run up on my bastard, going ultra maga. Make America godly again, that's my favorite MAGA. And I rap my Bible verses, then your favorite pastor. Overturn Roe v. Wade, cause them babies matter. If I rapped about murder, I bet I'll be their favorite rapper. But I rap about God and family, so I get banned. Sorry that I don't believe a woman is a man. And this a war with good and evil, tell me where you stand. You know only the wicked flee, that's why I never ran. Ay, it's about the kingdom, not about the money. Ay, bigger than one man, it's about the country. Ay, they brought up inflation, buying found it funny. And they taking all of our freedoms, what you want from me? They push Lil Nas X just because he gay. And they push Cardi B to lead all your daughters astray. And they tell me I could be rich if I change what I say. I never wanted to be of the world anyway. They already hate us, so let's make them matter. Ooh, they say we extreme, yeah, I hear the chatter. I pick Christ first and the rest don't matter. 2 a.m. we run up on my bastard, going ultra maga.
Over 9,000!
That's how I feel when parents have been overruled.
Questioning
no, I think
the
masks
efficacy
are okay.
of
You have
masks?
to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test, and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to. But I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Good morning, fellow freedom fighters. Ultra MAGA Media back. Episode number 3 of the new channel, as I've been banned from multiple channels and multiple platforms. Shadow banned on every platform you could think of. But we're used to this. That was one of my favorite clips, by the way. The biggest mask I've ever seen. Just the good old days, the good old days when Trump would bring out the Clinton RAPE victims. Now, I'm going to tell you things that other conservative channels just won't bring up. I'm going to tell you things that get me kicked off. I'm going to tell you things that get me shadow banned. But as long as I get the videos across to you, we'll have alternatives to put archives up to make sure you guys can catch the videos. But this is Ultra MAGA Media, and I hope you guys subscribe to the channel. Help us grow here. It's just me. Just one Ultra MAGA Media member trying to take over. Now, if you listen to the puppet in chief, who I believe may have died a year ago, if you listen to these deep fake CGI green screen man presented as Joe Biden on your screen, everything's fine, guys. Don't worry about it.
Since I took office, families are carrying less debt. Their average savings are up. A recent survey from the Federal Reserve found that more Americans feel financially comfortable than any time since the survey began in 2013.
I don't know how accurate that sounds to anybody. I mean, your paycheck isn't stretching further because of inflation, gas prices, food prices. So how you could be more financially sound, unless if you hit the fucking lottery, just shows the disconnect between the Biden regime. And yes, Nancy Pelosi's eyebrows are higher than the gas prices right now. A good business to be in right now is making the gas signs, the electric gas signs, because you get to sell the gas station the ones with the extra zeros on them. It's like, oh no, the current ones you have are not good enough. We're going to need you to add some extra zeros. We can only make those. So maybe a solid investment to go into there. Now, Memorial Day was actual hell because of these latest inflation numbers. You know, cookouts cost more than ever. The food prices soar. They're hitting a 4-decade high. And I'll always show you, some source material, even though you guys know this is going on. I'm also going to talk a little bit about Nancy Pelosi's husband, who got in his recent DWI, which I'm not as worried about as an 82-year-old. It just shows the corruption of that they don't even have to communicate. Classic, he's in and out. If one of us does this and there's a crash, we're probably spending a day or at least hours in jail. Even if bail is there, we're probably spending some time. So inflation hits another 40-year high. Consumer prices surge 7.5%. That's a very large percentage. And so sorry that the sound cut off. But I pull some of their stuff up as long as this doesn't. As I'm trying to literally X out of this website just to try to give you a source on this thing. This is how they do me. They try to ban me from even showing you the information. I think they've locked in on my voice with some kind of voice recognition software to make sure that I can't give you guys these links. So what I want to talk about with Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's brother's recent DUI, is the covered up 1960s DUI that he was involved in. And this was actually a DUI where he killed his own brother, who was 19, in the car when they were having a quote-unquote joyride. Now, the story the media gives you is that Paul Pelosi was with his brother David Pelosi, 19, and just out of nowhere, they're just driving along. They get in this crash, and whoopsie, just a little crash, nothing to worry about. Then you realize, oh, well, no, actually, the brothers died, and they blame it, and I am not kidding you, they blame it on the neck brace. They blame it on the neck brace that was next to him. I mean, that's absolutely insane. So it sounds more like to me that there was a struggle in the car, maybe a Clinton murder count style situation where he was strangling his brother. It's just absolutely insane that this story didn't get picked up. Now, last week I was on Wikipedia, and they actually had on Paul Pelosi's site that he was held criminally negligent for the homicide. I went on it today to show you guys that, and that has been scrubbed within the week. But I will show you that now because I have found the old articles. One thing you can expect from me is digging. Sorry about those sound issues. That was a New York Post article. Can't trust anything out of New York, especially New York City. If you're in rural New York, you're okay in my book. You can still be ultra MAGA. But if you're in New York City, you're really infiltrating. So let's talk a little bit about this before we get into Matthew McConaughey doing a great acting job for gun reform. As you guys know, yesterday, unelected governor herself, Kathy Hochul of New York City, decided that she was allowed to give an executive order tightening their favorite red flag laws. Fake conservatives like Dan Crenshaw are behind red flag laws and behind something called the TAPS Act. Now, most conservative shows won't tell you this. That's called the Threat Assessment Program. That's a pre-crime program to take your guns away from you. Just like the red flag law is a chance for a jealous ex or a scolded friend or anybody to tell the law enforcement that you've been violent and you own a firearm and they can come take it. This is on top of new initiatives that Biden has put in called ARPA-H, which is a cancer research fund, which is actually a front to use your devices to listen in on your microphones, Alexas, Apple Watches, Fitbits, anything you could think of as a device to listen in to your conversations and detect if you have mental illness through neurobehavioral signs. We'll get into more of that when we do start podcasting on this channel.
Sports Gus Rosendale is live there this afternoon, Gus.
And David and Natalie, you can still see some of the damage at this bus shelter here from that shooting. We emphasize one of the latest shootings in this city as New York's top two politicians take on guns in different ways. Shattered glass shows where bullets flew at 145th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. A 40-year-old man hit Sunday night. Neighbors still worried today.
I can't explain it. I wish I could, but I have no solution. I'm 85 years old. I hope I live to see 90.
And it's rolling up in here. Because we don't have this going on up here.
Mayor Eric Adams.
Oh yeah, there's no violence in New York. Yeah, none. I mean, since Giuliani left, America's mayor, there's been no violence, of course. We haven't heard the horror stories. So Hochul signed 10 gun-related bills, including one that will require micro-stamping in new firearms. This could help law enforcement solve gun-related crimes, revise the state's red flag laws. You know, that's to take away your guns. They say temporarily, but you think you're getting those back? The biggest one, 18-year-old gunmen using semi-automatic rifles. I'm surprised they didn't say assault style. We'll have to wait till they're 21. Now, they mentioned the 10 black people that died in Buffalo. You'll never hear about Waukesha and what happened there. But let's just hear it from an unelected official who's allowed to make an executive order. Because she was unelected when Cuomo was outed for whatever weird shit he was doing. She stepped in unelected.
Except here in New York. In New York,
Clap like seals.
in New York, we are taking bold, strong action. We're tightening the red flag laws to keep guns away from dangerous people. And we're raising the age of semi-automatic weapons so no 18-year-old can walk in on their birthday and walk out with an AR-15. Those days are over. Those days are over. You hear that? Those days are over.
I don't know. I'm not quite clear. Are those days over? And look, everybody stands up and claps like this is a great thing. And this is why when people reference the Constitution, I have to tell you, an unelected official can actually come in and just straight take away your gun rights. Now, they also use the power of the celebrity. Now, I have no problem with all right. But as someone said on May 24th, you are now aware of the shooting occurred at the elementary school Matthew McConaughey attended as a child. In the coming days, he will emerge as the new public face of gun control. May 24th. What happens yesterday? Matthew McConaughey is the new face of gun control in the White House giving speeches. Now, this is, of course, a White House site, so it doesn't work correctly. It literally starts you at the end of the video where it's over, and you have to replay the video because they can't get anything right.
To remind and inspire them that the American people will continue to drive forward the mission of keeping our children safe, because it's more than our right to do so. It's our responsibility to do so.
If any of you guys seen True Detective Season 1, you know the guy's a great actor. So you got to get a great actor to come up and do shit like this. And we're talking about a firearm owner, user, lover, and he's just completely changing into character of a guy that, you know, we have a life preservation problem and guns are the problem.
I'm here today in the hopes of applying what energy, reason, and passion that I have into trying to turn this moment into a reality. Because as I said, this moment is different. We are in a window of opportunity right now that we have not been in before. A window where it seems like real change can happen. Uvalde, Texas is where I was born.
And what happened? That same day, Kathy Hochul signed in all those gun laws. The same day.
It's where my mom taught kindergarten less than a mile from Robb Elementary. Uvalde is where I learned to master a Daisy BB gun. That took 2 years before I graduated to a .410 shotgun. Uvalde is where I was taught to revere the power and the capability of the tool that we call a gun. Uvalde is where I learned responsible gun ownership. Now, Uvalde called me on May 24th when I learned the news of this devastating tragedy. I had been out of cellular range, working in the studio all day when I emerged, and messages about a mass shooting in the town I was born in began flooding my inbox. In a bit of shock, I drove home, hugged my children a bit tighter and longer than the night before, and then the reality of what had happened that day in the town I was born in set in. So the next morning, Camilla, myself, and the kids, we loaded up the truck and we drove to Uvalde. And when we arrived a few hours later, I got to tell you, even from the inside of our vehicle, you could feel the shock in the town.
Was it like the Lincoln car commercials that you did? Was it that kind of vibe when you met the bull in the middle of the road? Was it one of those?
By the ocean. I need to live next to the ocean because I want to be a marine biologist.
So he goes through all the kids and their aspirations to eventually get you to a point of, hey, I used to be a responsible gun owner, but obviously this responsibility has been lost on everybody. No one can be responsible anymore. And sadly, we're going to have to make some gun form. McConaughey slams U.S. inaction on gun reform is the title of the video.
Parents are. And look, as divided as our country is this gun responsibility issue is one that we agree on more than we don't. It really is.
Nope.
Look, this should be a nonpartisan issue. This should not be a partisan issue. There is not a Democratic or Republican value in one single act of these shooters. It's not. But people in power have failed to act. So we're asking you. And I'm asking you, will you please ask yourselves, can both sides rise above? Can both sides see beyond the political problem at hand and admit that we have a life preservation problem on our hands?
I mean, I don't know. He's going for the Academy Award here. I can't let you listen to more of this from him. Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. He's had some good movies. He's had some flops. I thought True Detective Season 1, Rust and Cole, was his best work he ever did. But let's talk about Nancy Pelosi really quick. Now, I'm making this video before I got to go to my, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. job, just to have enough money to scrape by. Nancy Pelosi's drunk husband caused an accident prior to DUI arrest. You guys have heard this story, but I just want to add this to tell you the other story. Paul Pelosi, 82, was arrested while driving drunk. The arrest report retained, revealing he was driving eastbound on Walnut Lane, 6 miles from their own private vineyard. How lovely. According to the report, Pelosi pulled out onto S-29 to cross it, ignoring a stop sign, and then was struck by another vehicle. Obviously not the other guy's fault because he ran the stop sign. At the scene, Pelosi was found to have been over the legal alcohol limit. He was arrested on 2 misdemeanor accounts. Also, police waited 4 hours to utilize that breathalyzer, or it would have been way higher, and we'd be looking at maybe different charges. But that doesn't matter because they have money and they have power, and he's immediately able to get out. Now, what I found strange is that no one was mentioning that years before he had killed his brother in this 1957 car crash. And they blame a neck brace for the brother dying, which this just sounds like a Clinton body count kind of issue going on right here. Youth killed in crash, neck brace blamed, excuse me. I'm worried about the gun bans. Maybe they'll blame neck braces. Just masks. Neck all the way up to your fucking forehead with a mask on. A 19-year-old San Francisco youth died in an overturned sports car south of here early yesterday, probably strangled by the brace he wore to support a neck fracture from a swimming mishap. Probably. So this just shows that they've had power for a very long time. Now, Paul Pelosi was originally held negligent for this. Negligent homicide. Let me just see if I can just find that part of this article so I don't have to make you go through the whole rigmarole, because they're really hiding this. They took it away from Wikipedia. Man, Nancy Pelosi's husband killed his older brother in 1957 sports car crash. His brother was likely strangled by a neck brace. Highway Patrolman Thomas Gainley told the local outlet at the time that Paul said his older brother had urged him to slow down moments before the crash. As you can see, that's the crash scene there. The car veered across the road, bounced back from a small embankment, climbed 20 feet up another, spun around, somersaulted simultaneously. I mean, this sounds like a kids on the tracks moment. And this was a joyride, as they call it. And I'm telling you, they are scrubbing the part that he was negligent for this. But I will show you. I will absolutely show you. Maybe it was manslaughter, and I'm just getting my words mixed up here. Let's see if we can just find the manslaughter, which the charges were obviously dropped. And I'm telling you guys, I'm pulling up articles that I had and are now missing. The patrolman said he planned to cite Paul for misdemeanor manslaughter, but the case never made it to court, and the then teen was exonerated by a coroner's jury. There you go. Criminal negligence, manslaughter, misdemeanor, it doesn't matter. He killed his brother. The neck brace did not strangle him. And I just want to make that absolutely clear, because it sounds like a Clinton body count, which, if you guys haven't been keeping up with the Kardashians, keeping up with the Clintons, there's some interesting things happening right now. Now, I only got a little bit left before I have to go to my wage slave job. If you guys want to show some support to Ultra Maga Media, or which I didn't realize at the time would be the acronym for the channel, but excuse me, we all say sometimes, so it works out. There has been an update. Investigation reopened into mysterious death of Clinton advisor linked to Jeffrey Epstein, who was found hanging from a tree with a shotgun blast to the chest. Mark Middleton, Bill Clinton's special advisor from Little Rock, Arkansas, who connected the former president to deceased pedo Jeffrey Epstein at the age of 59, died early in May. And I mean, it was an absurd scene. It wasn't a suicide. They added the shotgun blast, probably as a calling card to let people know the deed has been done. And look how they do it. The bizarre suicide death of Bill Clinton's former advisor. How did he blast himself with a shotgun and hang himself at the same time, you'll ask? There's no shotgun at the scene, so that means someone else shot him. So they're reopening that investigation, you would think, but recent update: family of Bill Clinton advisor who admitted Epstein into White House 7 times has blocked release of files detailing the death scene after he was found hanging from a tree with a shotgun blast at a ranch 30 miles from his home. So now they're blocking any information about this case. Does that sound suspect at all? Now, his death adds to the number of close associates of former president and the first lady who have died unexpectedly, many in plane crashes, weird heart attacks, just things that very unexpected deaths. It has since been confirmed that the former advisor who lived in Little Rock took his own life at the ranch owned by an anti-poverty nonprofit. Now, you just have to think of the scene. Just think in common sense, guys. You're hanging from a tree, you have a shotgun blast through your chest, and there's no shotgun at the scene. I'm not Detective Ultra Maga Media, but I think I could cinch up this one as a homicide. Now, well, this is getting a lot of press because obviously it's a no-brainer that happened. Another Clinton associate vowed to expose the elite ring was found dead. Ashley Haynes was found drowned in the Arkansas River with an extension cord knotted to her ankle and attached to a concrete block. This was chalked up as an accident. A stunned business associate who knew Middleton, Mark Middleton, the guy that we were just talking about, told them his body was discovered early this month hanging from the tree with the same style electrical cord. So now we have 2 linked deaths of former associates within the last 6 months, with ties to each other, and both very, very suspicious. I can't outright say on YouTube, exactly what I'm thinking and what you're all thinking, but we all know what happened. That's what I got for you guys right now. I just wanted to make this video to, let you know Ultra Maga Media is here to stay until they shadow ban and they kick me off for speaking the truth like not many other conservative channels will do. They'll come close, but there's certain subjects that they won't touch, and you will not have to worry about that with me, because I am not scared about being suspended. I'm not scared about not having a sponsorship. All I can say is, if you guys want to support me, I literally have had my PayPal taken away, my Patreon, all of them have been taken away from me for speaking the truth. Except for the bank account, they got me on everything. So if you'd like to donate, I will leave a link. It's Cash App, $Croco Truth. And I just had to make that name up. And if you guys want to help out, more videos will be coming, but it definitely helps. Nothing obligated, but always appreciated. I love you guys. Keep fighting for freedom. Keep fighting for your individual liberties, even though they're taking them away from you at every corner. But try to keep a positive mindset that there's people just like us all trying to fight for you. And if I have to be one of those voices, I'm already one of those voices. So I hope you guys enjoy your day freely, without being accosted by anybody, and just have a wonderful day. My name is Ultra Maga Media, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Have a good day, guys.